If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, Jake. It's almost game day. How you feeling, my man?
Only been waiting for this for about 10 years,
I think. Is it 10? How does that work? It's 2025, but 2016. But that's not how seasons work, because I think it's been 10 seasons, 9 years. I don't know. Is the math mathing? I don't know if the math is mathing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to an absolutely freaking loaded edition of the Adam Carriker Show. I apologize, the Adam Carriker Show. We have got two guests, Brandon Brown, Michigan insider, who I interviewed a couple of years ago on this fine program when we were playing Michigan. Then hopefully the outcome this Saturday is much, much, much different. He's going to join us. This dude is very knowledgeable. He's very, very honest. And then Brandon Marcello, right, national college football writer for CBS Sports, will join us at the top of the hour. Also, are we giving away some free stuff? That seems like it might be worth mentioning as well.
Yeah, 3 pairs of tickets to the Nebraska-Michigan game. If you don't have it, you've got less than an hour to get down here. It's right up when you order coffee from the mill. You just write your name, number in there, put it in there. You'll have a chance to win.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving away free stuff. We've got guests from all over the place. Will Nebraska beat a ranked team? Finally beat a ranked team. That team happens to be a team who won a national title 2 years ago. Happens to be one of the 8 blue bloods. And if we were to divide the 8 blue bloods into tier 1, tier 2, dare I say Michigan's a tier 1 blue blood, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Big opportunity.
What tier is Nebraska?
We discussed this a month ago. Do you remember what I said? Or maybe it was last summer. I can't remember. Do you remember what I said?
You have to refresh me.
Because there was this whole thing going around, about was Nebraska still a blue blood? Because I think some people were trying to put was it Tennessee in there or somebody? And Tennessee's a great program. Penn State, I think, was starting to get put in there, but they hadn't won a national title, I think, since, 86, 82? So I mentioned at that point in time, Nebraska is still one of the 8 blue bloods. I said if you were to divide it into tier 1 and tier 2, we're probably a tier 2 blue blood out of the 8. Like if we had a top 4 and the next 4. We'd be in that next 4. That's what I said at the time. We start winning football games again, we can hop up to tier 1 real quick because the turn of the century, we were tier 1 easily. All right. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
I think it is, and I don't mean to be rude about it, but I think Nebraska's probably tier 3 in my mind. Just because
how would you break it up then?
Well,
How'd you break it up?
Well, it's just because when you look at the rest of college football right now, heck, I AI'd it the other day. I questioned, and it listed 7, and then said there's a debate about Nebraska at 8.
Oh, so we're hanging on by a thread.
It seems to be, in most of the polls you'll see, I can't remember the Twitter account that does it. They do it every summer just to check who's the blue bloods. All 8 are always the same, but Nebraska's usually receiving the least amount of votes, and it's just, I think a lot of that's just recency bias and not seeing Nebraska playing in big games the last 20 years. I get that. Blue blood obviously means a lot more than just what have you done for me lately, but Nebraska needs to pick it up. I mean, it is a status I think that can be lost. It's tough to lose, but I think it can be lost.
Okay, so this was not on the docket for today's show, but whatever comes up, we just roll with it. First of all, on the text line, ladies and gentlemen, who would you consider? You got to keep it to 8. I don't want a list of 15 blue bloods. Who would you consider to be the 8 blue bloods? And if you were to rank them tier 1, tier 2, and now Bad News Bach is creating a tier 3, how would you rank them? So here are the 8 blue bloods as I have it. Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, USC, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Am I missing anybody? I know there's been some debate about Georgia. I think was one of the teams that was thrown in there last summer. I think the Florida schools are always on the cusp, but I think they're just on the outside. LSU is on the cusp. But those are my 8. Do you see it any differently? Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, USC, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska.
No, I think that's fair.
By the way, the Big Ten has half of those, in case you're wondering. If Notre Dame joined, it'd be 5 of the 8. The other 3 are, I guess they're SEC. But all right.
The Big Ten went and bought some of those guys. But yeah, USC and Nebraska.
Hey, don't mention that. All right. Real quick, before we dive into this, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. All right. These are great companies. I want to make sure they get mentioned. Hour 1 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at hamiltontel.com. That's Hamilton, TEL.com. So my tier 1 is Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. They've all won a national title in the past half decade. All right. And all-time great programs. That's my tier 1. Tier 2 is Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma. Man, I don't know. I'm on the fence about USC. I'm going to put USC in there. Tier 2. So that makes tier 3 Nebraska. All right. Let the hate mail begin. What's your email, Jake? Send it to Jake's email.
That's right.
I got to. This is the day before a game, and here we are doing this to Nebraska. What are we doing on this show? All right. Let's do this, and then let's quickly move on. But what's your tier 1, tier 2, and the newly created tier 3, and what are our texters saying?
I would say Michigan, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma are tier 1.
Oh, you put Oklahoma in there. Okay.
I would put Oklahoma in there. All-time leader in conference titles.
Oh, okay.
Nebraska's right there. And then I would probably have Ohio State and USC probably in tier 2 if you have to put one there. And then I'd put Nebraska and Texas at tier 3.
You don't have Ohio State in tier 1?
I don't think I would.
No way. Dude. And you put us right next to Texas?
I think that's where we are.
I'm worse because I put us below Texas. Okay. All right. So to be clear, mine was Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. Tier 1. Tier 2 is Notre Dame, USC, Texas, Oklahoma. I honestly, I can understand putting Oklahoma up there. I honestly can. Conference titles, national titles. Well, the last one was 2000. So that's been a while. I think that's why I docked them. Although at one point they won eight straight Big 12 championships back when the Big 12 was, had Texas, Oklahoma, etc. They're still tier 2 for me. They might be the top of. Are we going to go to 4 tiers now?
If you have a top of tier 2, do you really have 4 tiers?
All right, you know what? I'm going to do a 4-tier thing. All right, so tier 1. No matter what, Nebraska fans are going to be mad at me because it doesn't change where Nebraska's at. So tier 1, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. That doesn't change. Tier 2, Oklahoma, Notre Dame. And I know they haven't won a title since 88, but they've played for multiple ones since. They honestly got screwed in 93. I know that was a long time ago. But, I mean, if you were to name one program that everybody in the country knows that isn't even a college football fan, they're going to say Notre Dame.
Yeah, you just go back to the vast history of it, the Four Horsemen, all that. I mean, since then and on. That's why Notre Dame's tier 1.
It's the reason UCLA is a god-awful college football coaching job. They haven't even been that great in college basketball. But when you win 10 straight national titles under John Wooden, you're still a blue blood, all right, in basketball. So tier 1, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. Tier 2, Oklahoma, Notre Dame. Tier 3, USC, Texas. All right, let the hate mail begin. Again, Jake, what is your email address? Because tier 4 is Nebraska. But we're still a blue blood. We're still a blue blood. And I will fight anyone with a microphone that says otherwise. All right, Jake, what do you got?
It's funny because old dad says, how can Notre Dame be a tier 2 if they haven't won a natty since the 80s? Be careful with that. You're a decade away. Nebraska's in the 90s.
Yeah, careful, man. You ain't played for a title in 25 years, so careful. It's kind of why I always took Hogan over Austin. Okay, Austin, nobody's ever been as white hot as Steve Austin. Nobody's ever sold more merchandise. Nobody ever got when he came out during the Mankind Championship match versus The Rock to interfere. That is the single loudest pop I've ever heard in my life. For those who don't know, a pop is a crowd reaction. The crowd just going berserk. He comes out, he hits The Rock with the chair, Mankind wins, and that was what turned the Monday Night Wars in favor for WWF forever, and they never looked back. But I've always said Hogan over Austin for a couple of reasons. One was Hogan did it as a babyface, as a heel at a higher level. Austin went heel, and it didn't go so great. Hogan did it longer, but ultimately, the reason I would give it to Hogan, regardless of what, if you do or don't like him away from the ring, as a pure wrestler. Okay, if we're talking great wrestlers, we're talking Lesnar, Angle. I'm talking pro wrestler, entertainer, butts in the seats, sell tickets. That's how I define a pro wrestler. You can go anywhere in the U.S. and anywhere in the world, and you can hold up 1 million pro wrestler pictures, but if you hold up Hulk Hogan, he is by far the odds-on favorite to be more recognized by people than anyone else, including Steve Austin. And that's how I equate Notre Dame. They're the most recognizable brand. Had they just, they don't even play in a conference, but that's a topic for another day. Had they just won any sort of championship, I was about to say conference, but they're not in a conference, national or anything in the past 25 years, in my opinion, they'd be tier 1. So anyways, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, tier 1. Oklahoma, Notre Dame, tier 2. USC, Texas, tier 3. Nebraska, still a blue blood, tier 4. All right. Did you break it down to 4 tiers? We can't go any deeper than that. I mean, 4 tiers is absurd.
I think I'm sticking with my 3 tiers.
You are? What's the text line say? Are they just annihilating me? Jake, Adam, we want to hear about beating Michigan. Nebraska's tier 4.
Ben's ranked his Alabama, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Michigan, Nebraska, Texas, USC, then Ohio State. Phil says, any thoughts on Penn State as a blue blood?
So Penn State's a great program. They are consistently really, really good. Year after year. They're going to be at worst 15 program, top 10 program. The outsider of that was right after the Joe Pa Sandusky thing, okay? And there was obvious, unfortunate things surrounding that. There was ramifications following that, but Penn State has bounced back. Coach Franklin's done a great job. Before that, Joe Pa, for 50 years, he was a coach there in some way, shape, or form, mostly a head coach. They won a ton of games. Then when they joined the Big Ten, the first thing they did was win the conference title in 94. Not national championship. Thank you very much, Nebraska. But their last national title It was 86 because they beat Miami in that Fiesta Bowl, which to this day is still the most watched college football game of all time. 1 versus 2. I think it was January 2nd, the Fiesta Bowl. Still the highest rated game of all time. So 86. So it's been a while. But between then and now, they've done really good things. But when I think of teams with brand recognition, teams that have the ability to be elite, have been elite, have won championships, are going to walk into and beat Michigan and Ohio State on a somewhat consistent basis, they have not been there. I think their last conference title was about a decade ago. They beat Wisconsin. They were down by 14, beat Wisconsin, the Big Ten championship game, then went on to play a phenomenal Rose Bowl game versus USC. Unfortunately, they ended up losing. I think they've only got 1 conference title in the past 20 years, maybe 2, and they don't have any national titles for, what is it, almost 40 years? So to me, it's the big games, the elite competition and how they play in those big games versus the elite. They keep them just on the outside for me.
Well, just overall record, like you said, a lot of this was Joe Pa and kind of, working toward it, but the 80s kind of on. And so they have 2 national titles, 1 Heisman Trophy winner. Good resume. They're definitely probably the team on the outside knocking in.
Ooh, are they your 9th?
But
who'd be your 9th place?
I would probably put them 9th.
So we're just going to talk about it. All right. So Penn State, Miami, Florida State, Florida. Who else is in that conversation?
I think you mentioned Georgia, LSU, Tennessee,
LSU, Tennessee. I think Oregon's in the conversation. Never won a national title, but they're in the conversation.
A blue blood. Now you're going to get me in trouble.
No, I'm not. I'm saying in the conversation.
But you have to win. You have to win one at least.
Okay, fine. Take them out.
They're not in any blue blood conversation.
That's fine. I wasn't. I would not have put them in there. I'm just saying.
You hear their name mentioned, but they should be completely knocked out of the.
For the sake of having fun, So Iowa. I got the desired reaction I wanted. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for picking up what I was putting down. So you're out of all those teams we mentioned, I can't think of anyone else. Maybe we're missing somebody, but if we can't think of you, that tells you what you need to know. Penn State is who's your 9 and 10, and then we'll move on. Penn State's your 9?
Penn State, and then it's weird because, again, when you have these conversations, it's just how recently Florida State, Miami, those teams kind of came on. I'd probably put, Miami has 5 titles.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to
argue.
Right there, yeah.
So Penn State 9, Miami 10? Over Florida State and Florida?
Gosh, Florida State's got to be right there too, though. But yeah, I'd probably say so.
That's your 9-10. Okay.
Tennessee's right there. I don't know.
Tennessee was 2 up and down. They won a title in 98. They've been 2 up and down since Philip Fulmer left. Great program, but they're 2 up and down. I'm just going to kind of go through these one by one. LSU, I'll be honest with you. I never thought of LSU as an elite program until 07 when they finally won a national title, with all due respect. So they don't have the history behind it of being an elite program. They have the history of being a good program. They've been knocking on the door of elite since 07. Obviously, they won a couple national titles, 2019.
03, too. Nick Saban held one.
Sorry, 03. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. 07 was the first time we had a 2-loss national title since the 30s, when I think it was Minnesota that did it.
Till last year. Or again last
year. The regular season doesn't matter anymore, Jake, but I digress. Hey, tune into Nebraska, Michigan tomorrow. It's a big deal. It is. It really is, especially for Nebraska fans. We will get to that game, by the way. Okay, so Penn State's still in the conversation. Tennessee is out for me. LSU is out for me. Miami's in the conversation. Consistency is my issue with Miami, but they're in the conversation. Florida State or Florida? Who would you put ahead? Would you put Florida ahead of Florida State or Florida State ahead of Florida?
I would probably put Florida State ahead, but I'm trying to think. Do they have 2 titles? Florida's got 3.
Florida has 3, and their first one was in 1996.
Yeah.
Let me look that up, because I know Florida State has 3. They won in 93, they won in 99, and then the year Jimbo beat Auburn with Jameis Winston. So they both got 3.
Yeah.
Probably Florida State.
I'd go Florida State.
The slight edge. I mean, we're talking like we're splitting the hairs and then splitting them again. So Florida State ahead of Florida. Yeah. Okay. So Florida State, Miami, Penn State are in the conversation. LSU is out for me. Tennessee is out for me. Who else did we throw out there? Oregon is out. Georgia, just there was too much time in between when they won about 8-9 years ago. Not even that long ago, 5-6 years ago. They've won 2, obviously.
Well, they won in 2021 and 2022. So
5-6 years ago. Yeah,
that's not 5 or 6 years ago. That's 4 years ago.
How dare you? My math is mathing. How dare you? That actually helps my point. because it wasn't 82 to 20, which was Alabama, by the way. Thank you for correcting me. They beat they mollywopped Ohio State, who played a 4-4 versus a Heisman Trophy winner that year. Whatever. I was just so mad the Big Ten looked so bad. I'm like, why'd you make us look so bad? Anyways, I digress. 82 to 2021. We're talking almost 40 years. So that's too much of a gap. Again, Mark Richt was phenomenal. He couldn't get over the Florida hump while he was there. He was like 1-9 during this particular 10-year stretch versus Florida. I remember I interviewed Goldberg when I was in D.C. on my Fourth and Paint show at the time, and he started ribbing me about college football. I was like, you played for the school that's nothing more than Florida's little brother. Dude, the phone went dead silent. I swear in his mind, he was spearing and jackhammering me through the phone at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So I take Florida out of it. Anybody else you can think of? Is there anything off the text line? Is there anybody we're not thinking of off the text line? Iowa said no to Jake said no to Iowa. Way to go, Jake.
That's right. Phil asked about Clemson.
No, too recent. They were good, but I always saw them as like an 8-9 win program, and now they're like a 9-10 win program, which is rock solid. But when we're talking blue blood, not quite. By the way, hey, so Dabo went off the other day. I'm sure you're aware of this in his press conference. Basically dared Clemson to fire him. Do you think he's looking at Alabama, where he played and won a national title in 92 and has been an assistant coach? Do you think he's looking at Bama and saying, Caleb DeBoer might not be there long? You people don't want me here. I'll go to Bama. You think that's on his radar at all?
I think he's probably starting to think a little bit. I like that thought. I hadn't thought of that previously, but I could definitely see it.
Okay, so Clemson's a little bit too recent. Great program as a whole, but not there. Anybody else?
It seems to be everybody as of right now.
Okay. So Penn State, Florida State, Miami. That's our 3 finalists for the last 2 slots to be in the top 10, 9th and 10th best programs of all time. I'm going to give Miami the slight edge over Florida State. Honestly, Florida State's had more consistency.
Yeah.
What was it, 10 straight years under Bowden? They finished the season top 5. Let me repeat that. Think about this. 10 straight years they finished in the top 5 in the country. What? They have been more consistent. Okay, and then Bowden leaves, and they've been way more up and down since. But under Bowden for 20, 30 years, man, he built them up in about 10 years for about 20 years. They were rock solid consistent, especially in the 90s. Do you remember when they were named the team of the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of Nebraska?
Oh, yeah.
Just blasphemous. I got to stay on topic. I'm all over the place today, Jake. I'm so excited for the game tomorrow. So it's about who has more national titles, Miami, versus who's been a little bit more consistent, which is Florida State. Miami has 5. Florida State has 3. All right, Heisman Trophy winners are relatively close. I believe Florida State has 2. Charlie Ward, Jameis Winston, unless I'm missing somebody. Miami, Gino Torretta. There's one more. Who am I missing?
Vinny Testaverde.
Yes,
I just
Vinny.
built some statues for him, actually. Both of them.
Yeah, so 2 and 2. So, I mean, man, it's even. When you think about the head-to-heads, does the wide right 2, wide left, does that factor in? Because that helps Miami in the head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could.
Okay, so I'm rock solid with Penn State at 9 because they've been by far more consistent than the other 2. They don't have the high ceiling, as high a ceiling, but the floor is so much higher than both those programs. I'm going to give it to Miami. 5 national titles. It would help if some of those weren't at the expense of this fine institution, but I'm going to overlook that and overlook my bias as much as I can. So my 9 is Penn State, 10 is Miami. Who was your 10?
I said Miami and
did we arrive at the same too?
Same.
We arrived at the same.
Yeah, Penn State, Miami.
I knew you had Penn State. I forgot about Miami. Yeah. Anything off the text line, and then we'll get back on track with show.
Yeah. Stan and Ben is sticking up for Harvard, Princeton, Yale. So they have titles going all time.
I mean, we're being accused of who we don't play up to this point in the season. With all due respect to the Ivy Leagues, I'm just going to stop there. They're much smarter than I am, and whatever I say, they will shred me in their verbal comeback. But no, they're not in this conversation.
They don't play FBS football right now. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Just going to leave it at I have too much respect to go into much more depth than that. So
yeah,
too much respect for them. Anyone else?
Anything else? That's everything for now.
All right. Well, there's your top 10 greatest programs of all time because that was planned for today. Why don't we go to break? Okay. And then the question. The headline of the show. Normally we put 2 or 3 things in the headline. There's one thing in the headline today. Will Nebraska finally get a win over a ranked opponent? That opponent being Michigan. According to myself, a tier 1 blue blood. Did you have him tier 1?
Oh, I did.
Okay. Against a tier 1 blue blood, a team who won a national title 2 years ago. And by the way, something that's being overlooked. This is how little conference championships mean. And it's kind of silly to talk about Nebraska in that vein right now. But if we're talking college football playoff, which, by the way, I have not entered that conversation yet, like a lot of people. See me Monday if we beat Michigan. But if we want to make some noise in the Big Ten, this is a Big Ten game. Have you even heard that mentioned much this week?
Not too much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll get the show back on track, and we'll discuss Nebraska, Michigan. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-premium protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts has been an trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rolloffs, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history.
What a finish, boys.
Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We got a special guest, Michigan Insider, going to join us here in just a few seconds. But before we bring on Mr. Brandon Brown, as a former Husker and NFL player, I'm a health nut. Hydration and recovery start at home. That's why I teamed up with Culligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects my water heater and appliances. Their high efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, I added a Culligan reverse osmosis, bottled quality water right at my tap. Great taste, and it's certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system or $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at CulliganHuskers.com. That's CulliganHuskers.com. Culligan of Lincoln. Water you love, go Big Red. All right. Now, at this point in time, I want to bring on the managing editor of the State of Michigan site on the Roundtable Network. He is also the host of the Believe in Michigan podcast and Believe in Big Ten podcast as well. Mr. Brandon Brown, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time. We got a big game here on Saturday. But I want to ask you this question, because Nebraska fans are like, man, we get a win versus Michigan. They're a ranked team, big name, big brand, blue blood, won a national title a couple years ago. That's a big deal for Nebraska. I'm curious, how do Michigan people view this game with Nebraska?
I mean, I think it's a pretty big deal, too. I mean, you know, Michigan's got a strong road test under their belt this year already and lost at Oklahoma. You know, Matt Rule has kind of been billed as this guy that you get to year 2 and 3 and he kind of figures it out. He kind of gets stuff clicking. You know, Dylan Raiola is viewed as, you know, one of the more solid quarterbacks in the Big Ten. So, yeah, I think it's a really big deal. It's another road test for Bryce Underwood as he's trying to figure it out. And, yeah, Michigan fans would love to go on the road and get a win in a hostile environment because they're 0 for 1 on those attempts this year so far. So, yeah, I think it is a big deal. And it's, you know, it's the start of Big Ten play, too. So it's absolutely a big deal.
All right. So talk to me about the injury situation, because you guys, from 21 players listed on the availability report, I think you were down 14 players a week ago at one point, and now you're going to be without a starting offensive lineman. So talk to me. Is Michigan walking into this game relatively healthy? Were they taking a week to kind of get back and recharge? Like, how close to full strength will Michigan be this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's probably somewhere in the middle of that, whether, you know, they were letting some guys recharge, and there also are some guys that are a little bit dinged up. Expect Rod Moore to be back on the field for the first time in over a year after, you know, tearing up his knee ahead of last season, so that'll be a big boost for the defense. He's just a veteran guy, kind of like a coach in the field out there in the secondary. So that's a big deal, and just be a big deal for him getting back out there after having been out for so long. And then Marlon Klein, the tight end that led the team in receiving week 1. I mean, almost went for 100 yards in his first game as kind of tight end 1. He's still dinged up. I mean, I expect him to play, but he's not 100%. He's dealing with an ankle. And then, as you mentioned, the offensive line, that's still gelling a little bit. Guys that are still figuring each other out. You've got Gio El-Hadi, the captain, who's going to miss Saturday already. And then, they've been moving the tackles around a little bit because they've had some injuries there too. So I think there was a little bit of kind of recharging the batteries against Central. Obviously, Michigan, won by 60 points in that one, so they probably didn't need all hands on deck, but I think they will for this one. But it sounds like they're still going to be down, at least one key guy in El-Hadi, and then another key guy in Marlon Klein, maybe not at 100%. So yeah, we'll kind of have to see how that looks. But yeah, they're a little banged up right now and heading into the fourth game of the season. Excuse me.
So obviously, being a former Nebraska player, talking Nebraska football, I'm rooting for Nebraska in this one, but I can't help, I can't help but root for safety Rod Moore. Any guy who gets banged up, like not even banged up, but flat out hurt, he's out for a year. It's going to be his first game back. Your guys' safety. I can't help but root for him. I'm not rooting for Michigan, but I'm rooting for him because it's like Teddy Prohaska is our starting right tackle. He's had 3 major knee injuries, but he's come back. He's played rock solid this year. So I can't help but root for guys like that. How big of an impact do you think getting Rod Moore back, but also some of these other guys who, even if they're playing, are going to be banged up? How big of an impact could that have on the game?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Rod specifically. I mean, he's kind of just become, the quintessential Michigan veteran player. Comes back. He's been there 5 years now, coming off of injury. He's the overlooked Ohio kid that didn't have the Ohio State offer and has made some big plays in that game, including a game-sealing interception 2 years ago. So he's just kind of he kind of embodies what all Michigan fans feel about when they talk about some of their favorite players. So, actually as a player, he's really good. I mean, he started playing as a true freshman when he was a pretty unheralded recruit. So he's played a lot of football. As I said, he's kind of a coach on the field back there. The coaches just rave about his intelligence and making the calls and getting guys in the right spot. So that's a really big deal. He might be on a bit of a snap count, just knocking the rust off and kind of getting back into it. But he's been essential to some of the successes back there, even off the field, just helping some of those younger guys along and some transfers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough when you don't, no one's inside of the heads of those guys who are injured. How much pain can Marlon Klein put up with when he's trying to make cuts and get in and out of his breaks with an ankle that's sore? And some of the linemen that maybe could have went last week if you needed them against a more formidable opponent, but against CMU, you tell them to take a load off and get ready for Nebraska. So that's all part of it. Just seeing who can deal with the pain, how everybody's feeling after a week off, and then Rod getting back out there after well over a year of not playing football should be pretty exciting to see how he kind of slots back in there.
Michigan insider Brandon Brown with us here on the Adam Carriker Show. Brandon, I want to ask you, of course, Ron Moore, the self-imposed 2-game suspension, decided to make Nebraska part of that and not, the Oklahoma game. Seemed a bit odd from the outside. I think some Nebraska fans a little slighted by that. Of course, we know about the Oklahoma connection, but to choose to do a conference road game and a road opener and conference opener instead of the Oklahoma game. Was there much talk around Ann Arbor about that, or what, the decision of when to take the 2 games?
Yeah, it was weird from the beginning to even be able to kind of pick when you want anyway. It's kind of strange. It's weird, the self-imposed penalty. Let's go ahead and try to get these 2 games. The NCAA says, all right, that's fine. Is that really a penalty if you get to pick? I don't know. It's weird. That's about all I can really say about it. There hasn't been a lot of discussion. More of the discussion has been about Biff Poggi stepping in and taking over as head coach for these couple weeks because he's just such a character, and he's got such a cool and interesting and unique background when it comes to his life away from football, and then how he's been with Michigan, and then he was gone, and then he comes back, and he's just an interesting dude to talk to. So there's been more focus on who replaced Sharon than Sharon being gone, I guess you could say. But it's weird. I mean, he wanted to be there for the Oklahoma game. That's his alma mater. He played there, but he also had many years put in at Central Michigan. That's kind of where he got his start as a coach, and that one was one of the suspension games. So I don't know. It's kind of bizarre all the way around, and I hadn't even thought about maybe, Nebraska people feeling like, hey, you don't even need your head coach against us. All right, we got you on that. But I don't know. I haven't ever thought of it that way. The whole thing just seems kind of strange from the beginning, picking which games you're going to be suspended for, and they're not even the first 2. And it's just, I don't know, kind of random if you ask me.
I told you, Michigan, they never once said, hey, we're going to insult Nebraska. That wasn't on their radar. Now, that doesn't mean you can't feel a certain way if you're a Nebraska fan, but it's not on their radar. Can you imagine? Do you have kids, Brandon?
I have a son, a 5-year-old. I do, yes.
Could you imagine, hey, you just pick whatever you want your punishment to be. Could you imagine how that would go as he grows up? Like what that would, I'm going to make myself eat cake. I mean, obviously that's an extreme example, but you get my point, you know? All right, man, let's talk about Biff Poggi. For those who may not be as familiar with him, Nebraska fans, college football fans in general, give us a little bit, if you don't mind, a background on him and kind of how his approach and what he brings to the table versus what Sharon Moore typically might do if he were roaming the sidelines on Saturday.
Yeah, so he described himself as the player's weird old Italian grandpa. That's how he described himself. So you can throw that out there however you want. But he's got a little. He's an older dude. He's quite a bit. He talked about that. He said, "I've got kids as old as Sharon. You know, he's in his 60s probably. Sharon, I think, is approaching 40, and so he's different in that regard. But the players absolutely love him. He's really fun and funny to talk to. He's got a little line or a little quote for just about everything, and he's just like a football dude through and through. But he says, you know, repeatedly, he just wants to coach the game kind of in Sharon's image, but it didn't really feel like that against Central Michigan. I mean, I know Michigan was expected to win by a lot, and they win by 60, but the playbook felt a little more opened up. Felt like Chip Lindsey was kind of doing more of what he wanted to do and more of what he did at North Carolina, offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey, more designed runs with Bryce Underwood. I mean, he Bryce Underwood goes over 100 yards rushing, scores 2 touchdowns with his legs in that game, and up to that point, he hadn't even carried the ball at all, like literally at all. And so it felt a little bit different. So it's, you know, they still want to run the ball with the two-headed monster and Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, but it just felt different. And I know it was Central, and I know they kind of ran him out of the stadium, but it had a different vibe. The play calling seemed a little bit more rhythmic, and you know, I don't know if that's the opponent, Chip Lindsey, getting a little more freedom as the play caller, or if it is Biff saying let's turn them loose, let's let everybody do their thing, and that's what it looked like. So everybody in Ann Arbor and around that program is very, very curious to see how it's going to look against a much better team in Nebraska on the road.
Well, in Nebraska, too, fans are very curious to see what Bryce Underwood does, specifically with his legs tomorrow, because they struggled against the running quarterback in Cincinnati at a week 1. What is the review so far for Bryce Underwood? Obviously, didn't have the best statistical game against Oklahoma. Like you said, opened up his legs here. What's the review so far for Bryce Underwood?
I mean, everybody around Michigan is maybe a little biased, but you think he's all world, and talent-wise he is. I mean, he's got one of the most electric arms I've ever seen. I mean, that's not hyperbole. I mean, the kid was the #1 recruit in the country for a reason. He's 6'4", he's 230, he probably runs 4.5. He's a pass-first guy, but can absolutely kill you with his legs if he wants, or if that's what the coaches want to do. But again, through the first 2 games, they didn't run him at all. I mean, you know, John Mateer was running all over the place, scored 2 touchdowns against Michigan, is the main reason why they won that game in Norman, and didn't get any of it in the other direction from Michigan. And then against Central, I think he carries it, 14 or 15 times, probably 10 times on design quarterback runs, goes over 100 yards and scores twice. I mean, it was strange to not use that weapon at all against Oklahoma when you definitely needed it, and then to bust it out against Central when you didn't need it. So that was kind of strange. So, you know, the reviews are, he's still a true freshman. This is just start number 4. He's going to probably make a mistake here or there. He got fooled a couple times against Oklahoma, got fooled a couple times against Central, but he can make every single throw. He's absolutely big enough to take some hits, and he is definitely athletic enough to hurt you with his legs. So it's just about, you know, how they use him and what the coaches want to do with them and what kind of positions they put him in. Because if you put him in a position to have some success and then he can sprinkle in his own, you know, God-given ability, he can do whatever he wants on the football field.
Man, I know Sharon Moore's a really good football coach. I ain't questioning that. You almost got me wishing he was on the sidelines this Saturday.
Well, there was a little. I hope it didn't come off that way, but
no,
it certainly felt like, you know, when the cat's away, the mice will play a little bit. That's what it felt like in some instances. You know, like I said, they didn't use him as a runner at all, and then they did a lot against Central when you probably didn't need it. So, you know, everybody was kind of wondering, like, okay, well, Sharon's going to be gone again. Let's see how it looks, you know, in Lincoln, because that'll be the real test.
All right, one last question before we get you out of here. Do you have a score prediction for the game on Saturday?
Man, I think it really does come down. I know Michigan's favored is, what is it, maybe 2.5 now, essentially a pick 'em, right? I think something like that. It's going to come down to the usage of Bryce Underwood. I truly think that. I mean, if they put the lid on things again like they did against Oklahoma, I don't think they'll win. I think he needs to run the ball 10, 15 times, whether it's on scrambles or, QB power, or if he's keeping it on reads, whatever. And if he doesn't run or the running game is ineffective, I think Nebraska will win the game. So my slightly biased report, I will go 31-28 Michigan. And I think that's right around, I think it'll be about a field goal in either direction, whoever ends up winning.
All right, Brandon, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate that.
All right, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Tune in this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. as Old School broadcasts live from Lead Lodge and Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City to kick off the 2025 Applejack Festival. The festival runs on September 20th and 21st, as well as September 27th and 28th at Arbor Day Farm. Pick apples, enjoy cider, and welcome the fall season with fun for the whole family. Purchase tickets to the 2025 Applejack Festival online at arbordayfarm.org and listen this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. to Old School broadcasting live from Arbor Day Farm. There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks, and grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-premium protein powder ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Harvest season is here, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade now. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's AKRS.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle-cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state, from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, In need of an ag loan or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go.
Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
Goddamn drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. I want to thank Brandon Brown, big-time Michigan insider and host of the Believe in the Michigan Show and the Believe in Big Ten podcast as well, a show that I used to host. All right,
That's right.
Brandon's taking it to new heights. He's doing way better than I ever did with it. Although, do I say I upgraded here at the Ticket? Because I feel like we're doing all right over here at the Ticket, Jay.
So.
All right. But we are going to bring on, once again, at the top of the hour, we're going to give away some free tickets. Right at noon, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
at noon?
right at noon.
All right, right at noon. Give away some free tickets. We like giving away free stuff. Like us, we'll give you free stuff. And we'll also bring on National College Football analyst from CBS Sports, Brandon Marcello, right after we give away some free stuff as well. I feel like there's some press conference stuff I've not gotten through this week. Some of it's a couple of days ago, but I feel like just firing through some of it real quick would be worth it. So let's light this candle, shall we? Sound good?
That does sound good.
All right, so you're right. The secondary is a tight group. They're having a blast out there playing. He's playing nickel, was excited and enjoying playing the nickel back. He always expects the ball to come to him. Excited to play against Bryce Underwood. If you play 99% perfect, you still need to find that 1%, which I find interesting because Matt Rule wants to get 1% better every day. So by tomorrow, he should be 100% perfect, right?
I think that's right.
The math is mathing. All right, Emmett Johnson, he's approaching this week the same as every other week. I can tell you right now, I've talked to, at least a half dozen players. They all say the same thing. Henry Latubsky said the same thing when we interviewed him on Tuesday. Like, they don't see Michigan. They're aware of the hoopla, but they just see a nameless, faceless opponent, and they're going to go about their business and doing their work, and I freaking love that. Can't wait to see how it plays out on Saturday. All right, Emmett's healthy. Says he is going to have fun playing against Ernest Hausman. That hasn't been talked about a lot. It's been a couple years since he was here. All right, but Ernest Hausman, the former Nebraska linebacker, now the Big Ten's leading tackler, currently playing for Michigan. All right, on his performance the first 3 weeks, he says, and I quote, "It was all right," end quote. I love that. That might be my favorite quote I've read all week. Did 575 pounds on a squat. Wanted to go up, but they wouldn't let him. So a couple of things. Number one, 575 pounds is ridiculous, like in a phenomenal way. Number two, people don't lift heavy during the season. I assume he's talking about recently. I don't know why he'd be talking about. Maybe he's talking about last summer. Either way, that's insane. During the season, you just want to maintain. You just don't want to lose strength. If he did that this week, and that's his maintenance squat, first of all, I want to see the depth, but I trust him. That's impressive. All right, Cam Lenhart likes this club. I said they've been working on line discipline. I would imagine staying in your gaps, et cetera, especially on the run. He's fresh and ready to go. We still have a lot to prove. This Nebraska team should be fresh. I mean, we should be fresh as all get out. Not a single one of these starters played in the second half, and not a one of them played in the fourth quarter versus Akron. Like, we should be fresh and healthy as we're going to be. And Michigan's a little banged up. So did you notice when he started talking about their tight end, I immediately started paying more attention? That is the only guy in their pass game that makes me nervous, one iota. He's playing, but he's banged up. I wish no ill on anybody. He can be 100% come Sunday morning. But Saturday afternoon, If I see a limp and I'm a Nebraska defender, boom, let's go. All right, Marquise Buford, friendship can't come before the standard. In other words, they have to hold each other accountable. If you ruffle a little some feathers, make some people a little upset, we got to be good at football. Has a lot of confidence in our offense. Secondary is playing. He believes secondary is playing well also. All right, let's get to Rule yesterday, and then we'll get out of here. His Thursday press conferences are always a little bit quicker. Deshaun Singleton is playing elite football. Michigan has an elite return game versus our kickoff team. So should we just keep kicking it out of bounds, Jake? Is that what he's saying? Is he justifying if or when we kick it out of bounds?
A better idea.
Huh?
Yeah.
I trust our coverage units. Let's kick the ball in bounds. Says Glenn Thomas, if they run it back for a touchdown, I'm going to be very mad at myself. All right. Says Glenn Thomas is, and I quote, a by the process kind of guy, end quote. Carter Nelson is good to go. Do we think he was banged up? Was that?
Not necessarily. I think it was just the offseason.
Okay. Coming back from the hip stuff. All right. So. When Dana got here, he said he wanted Glenn Thomas to stay. I mean, you think Glenn Thomas, former offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson, Matt Rule, all these guys who are offensive. We have 3 former offensive coordinators on staff and 4 former defensive coordinators. I've talked about it a bunch. I'm not going to dive into it again. That's just still crazy to me. And I quote, from a global perspective, when people turn on Nebraska, I want them to see excitement. I want them to see an amazing fan base. I want them to see a rockin' stadium. I want them to see a state united behind a team. And those are all things we have, end quote. I mean, I didn't clip that, but I feel like had we played that clip, I'd be ready to run through that wall right there, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome. I just reading it was awesome. It says they don't want to make games bigger than others. Any one game bigger than others but this kind of excitement is why you come to Nebraska. It's the perfect approach. You can't be more amped for one game than the other because that's, first of all, that's how you have letdowns. That's how you remain inconsistent if that's how you've been playing. But it's also how you can have a very rough first quarter because you overhype a game against a good opponent, and then all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball. It's a nameless, faceless opponent. You approach it the same exact way. You're aware of the surroundings, and these are the games, and these are the types of teams you want to play and why you come to Nebraska. Love it. And I quote, we have a vision of being a program that is relevant nationally, not for our history only, but for what we are doing right now. Final thoughts before we head to break, Jake?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love hearing from the players and the coaches leading in. And like you said, again, people might get worn out a little bit about seeing Matt Rule every time they open up social media. I've said it for the longest time. He's a great spokesman for the university. He understands what he can put out there to show off the university, and he does. So I think it's fantastic. And it's Nebraska, Michigan. It's tough to like you said, you got to treat the game the same, but at the same time, this is it. This is a big one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we got a national college football analyst for CBS joining us. We're giving away free stuff, so hopefully you will like us more. Don't go anywhere. Hour 2 when we come back.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
There are great Mexican restaurants all over town, but there is one that is especially worth the drive from any part of town. Tacos Los Hermanos at 70th and Havelock. Cool off this summer with a delicious horchata or other special drinks. And grab one of their famous taco boxes for a group of friends or coworkers to enjoy, full of birria tacos and many other options. Don't forget their great desserts like tres leches, flan, and cheesecake. Get to Tacos Los Hermanos for lunch or dinner today at 70th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevenson Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Tune in every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. for the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. It's the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the Retail Banking Manager at your local Midwest Bank branch on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Banking may be my job, but supporting the community is what I care most about. Whether I'm showing up at local events, partnering with schools, or helping people reach financial milestones, I am proud to be a part of what makes Lincoln strong. Let's build something together. Stop by and say hi. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Schwieso Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwieso Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwieso.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're going to bring on our special guest, and then we will give away free stuff, mostly hoping that you will like us more. So we'll give away those tickets as soon as we are done bringing on our special guest. And we're going to bring him on at this time, National College Football reporter for CBS Sports, Mr. Brandon Marcello. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Dude, I'm glorious. I appreciate you taking the time. All right, Nebraska, Michigan, from your perspective, how big is this of a game is this for Nebraska, Matt Rule, in this season?
It's the best position they've been in to knock off a ranked opponent, in my opinion. You've got two quarterbacks who were obviously very highly rated. In fact, the two highest ranked quarterbacks to go head-to-head in quite some time in the Big Ten. It's there in Lincoln, and it's a situation where Matt Rule, I mean, he hasn't won against an AP-ranked team since he was at Temple, believe it or not. And this is an opportunity, their best situation to get it done. And if they don't get it done here, not to be like, what's going to be raising red flags or anything like that, but it's got to be completely frustrating for Nebraska fans because this is their best opportunity yet.
How much stock? Because we've heard about the Matt Rule year 3 jump. He did it at Baylor. He did it at Temple. He's never won less than 9 games in year 3, 9 wins, 10 wins at Temple and Baylor, competed for conference championships, won conference championship there at Temple in year 4. Talk to me about how much stock you put into a Matt Rule year 3 jump here for Nebraska this season.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see it. I think they can challenge for 9 wins. I'm not sure about 10 wins, but they've got the type of roster together to go for 9 wins. But again, he's facing a much tougher schedule than what he did previously at Baylor and, of course, at Temple. I mean, he is 2-22 in his career against AP-ranked teams in all 3 spots. And, of course, he's 0-17 when you combine his records at Baylor and Nebraska against ranked teams. So even when he was at Baylor and they won those 10-plus games, they did not beat a ranked team. You're going to face more ranked teams or of that type of caliber in the Big Ten this season. And so to immediately just think, well, he won 10, 11 games his third year everywhere else, he's going to do it here in the Big Ten. Different type of competition level. Obviously, he's got a different type of talent level himself at Nebraska. But this looks like a roster that can win 9 games, in my opinion.
Brandon Marcello joining us here from CBS Sports reporter who just broke a SEC scheduling thing. If you want to go check that out, that was awesome. But I also wanted to ask you just kind of what your thoughts on about the opponent. Michigan coming into Memorial Stadium 2-1, of course, without their head coach. It sounds like you're putting a lot on the game for Nebraska to kind of get over that hump, and that would lead me to believe that you think Michigan is gettable for Nebraska. What do you see from the Wolverines coming in here?
Yeah, they're definitely gettable. I watched them in person against OU a couple of weeks ago. And listen, Bryce Underwood, as talented as he is, he really struggled against that OU defense. We know OU's defense is pretty good, but he completed only 38% of his passes. And he's had to be able to, pump up his numbers against some very, very less than quality teams outside of that. But I think this is very comparable for Nebraska. I mean, listen, you guys know Nebraska's allowed the least amount of passing yards by a team, I think, since 2000 through 3 games in all of the FBS.
Yep.
That's insane. And this is, if you can slow down Bryce Underwood through the air, make them one-dimensional, you got a very good shot. I mean, other than Justice Haynes breaking off that 75-yard, I think, touchdown run early in the second half, Michigan really couldn't do anything offensively against OU, and it was pretty much because they shut down Bryce Underwood, the passer, and then tried to force him to run, and they were able to slow that down. So this seems like just a great matchup, in my opinion, when we talk about individual matchups that really go in favor of Nebraska.
All right, man, that's the million-dollar question. Will Nebraska be able to slow down Michigan's run game? What is your thoughts on the odds of us being able to limit their run game and making them have to do more through the air than they would like to?
Yeah, I'd actually, kind of taking the opposite approach, slow their air game and make them run where they feel like that's got to have to spark them, and then, kind of ride that high. Because I just don't know if Michigan, against the type of pass defenses that have been really good, OU, and of course now Nebraska, that they're going to have all that much success, especially on the road in an atmosphere like they're going to see this Saturday in Lincoln. I think that if even if Michigan has some success on the ground, you're still going to have a very good shot against them, especially early in the year as Bryce Underwood tries to kind of find his rhythm in the pass game. The other thing is Bryce Underwood hasn't really been prone to turnovers all that much. But if you can get him to turn the ball over a couple of times, Nebraska is good as gold.
So I'm glad somebody else finally said it, because I immediately went to the run game, but I'm on TikTok now, Brandon. Are you on TikTok, Brandon? Have you joined the world of TikTok?
I'm on there. I haven't danced yet, though.
Okay. I'm starting to dance. Oh, I haven't danced yet. I'm doing videos. I'm not actually dancing yet, although my daughters want me to dance with them. Maybe I will at some point. I actually put out a 1-minute TikTok the other day, and I'm like, what if we look at this from the inverse angle? What if we say the number one pass defense in the country hasn't allowed 70 yards passing in a game yet versus a true freshman quarterback who had the worst quarterback rating in the country, albeit versus Oklahoma 2 weeks ago? What if we said, hey, we're going to trust our secondary. We're going to go one-on-one, maybe single high, put one free safety in the middle of the field, maybe cover zero, and let's stack with 8-9 guys in the box, and maybe that's how we slow them down. I love that you brought that up. I actually want to go back to something that Jake mentioned earlier, because you did. You kind of broke the story a little bit that they're going to be announcing. The SEC is they will reveal games, the 3 perennial, annual rivals that each school is going to have. They're going to have 9 conference games, 1 Power 4 opponent in the non-con, and 3 annual conference rivals that they continue each and every year. If the Big Ten were to do this, who do you think Nebraska's 3 annual rivals within the Big Ten should be?
Oof. I think Nebraska fans would want to be better to answer that than just some outsider. But, here's the other thing to keep in mind. The SEC, they're going about it this way. They're going, okay, so tell us who you really want to play. Who are your permanent rival? Give us 1 game. So, for example, I'm an Arkansas guy. I live in Arkansas. Texas is immediately one that comes up because that's their old rival in the SWC. But they've also got trophy games against Missouri and LSU. And LSU's not much of a rival, but Missouri's become kind of a rival for them. But the SEC's telling them, listen, we're only going to really let you pick 1 game because we've got a formula in place here where we're going to try and even things out. We're taking the average win percentage over the last 4 years for every team, and we're trying to make sure that your other matchups and your permanent rivals all are kind of in an even keel. So that's an issue, right? Because Alabama wants to play Tennessee and Auburn every year, and a lot of the fans there want them to play Georgia every year too. You just can't quite do that if you're going to keep things even and keep everybody happy in the SEC. Same with Auburn. I mean, Auburn wants to play Alabama every year. They also play Georgia every year in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. And some fans go, hey, we want to play Florida too, because that used to be an old rivalry back in the 90s. Well, you just can't do that. So if you're Nebraska sitting there, you got to kind of consider those type of things. I think that if you were to do something similar in other conferences, it'd be going by that. If I was Nebraska, though, I mean, Iowa, obviously, to me, is one you've really got to keep there. I'm fascinated to hear what you think, to be quite honest.
I was not aware that they were trying to even out the schedule winning percentage wise. I was just going to throw that out the window. So if I throw that out the window, it's Iowa, Penn State, Minnesota, Wisconsin, one of those two. Jake, who would you pick? I go Iowa, Penn State right away because we were going to play Penn State every single year when we first joined the Big Ten Leaders and Legends divisions days. So I'd go Iowa, Penn State, and then either Minnesota or Wisconsin. They could fight it out, and we'll take the winner. Who would you take, Jake?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same type of feel. I would think first, and I know you like the Penn State historical rival and bouncing out. I think that would work a little bit better. If I think it's just down to rivals, it's probably Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. But again, balancing it out, I think Penn State would be a wise decision too.
All right, my man, I appreciate your time. Do you have an official prediction for us, Nebraska versus Michigan? Who you got winning?
I've got Nebraska 21, Michigan 17.
I just want to announce to the world you're no longer an outsider. You are now one of us, Brandon. I just want you to know that. All right, my man. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
All right, you guys have fun this weekend.
All right, thank you. You too. All right, Jake, what were your big takeaways from what Brandon? Oh, we better give away these tickets.
Yeah,
let's give away these tickets. All right, and then we'll get to some big takeaways from what Brandon had to say. All right, my man. Here are the winners. They all get 2 tickets, and the last guy gets a little special something. Is that correct?
That's right.
All right. Now, this is via the mill, and we're announcing our winners. You get 2 tickets apiece. So I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this name correct. All right. Jenna Hoagie. Did I say that right? Hoage?
I would assume if your name sounds anywhere close to Jenna Hoagie, then you might want to call in and see if you won. But yeah, I think that's right.
Call in, claim your 2 tickets. All right. We got our next winner. I'm going to be honest. The last name is 1 letter and it's hard to read. So I believe it's Shelly Z.
Okay.
Shelly Z. If there's a Shelly Z out there, you have won 2 tickets. Call in. What's the number, Jake? So they know what number to call.
You know what? I don't think it's the normal. I don't think it's the number here. I think we'll go ahead and reach out to them because we got their phone numbers.
How about that? All right. We have your phone numbers in your emails. I'm staring at them right here. The ticket will reach out to you. Now, what's the special things this last one won?
This last one also won Championship Club tickets.
Ooh.
So.
I'm actually going to be there at 1:30 on Saturday.
The Championship Club?
Yeah, I was invited by somebody there.
Nice.
I'm going to go to Dr. Gold's pregame tailgate. I better not say too much. He wants to keep that private. And then I'm going to head over to the Champions Club around 1:30. So
well, there you go. If you're this winner, you might want to head there around 1:30 then.
All right. You get 2 tickets and Champions Club tailgate. You will be a part of that as well if you are so inclined. Courtney, Beyer. I believe that is Bayer.
Yeah, sounds right.
All right, Courtney, congratulations. You are a winner as well. And the ticket, I'm going to put this on Jake, by the way. Jake and the ticket will be reaching out to you to get you your tickets and your Champions Club tailgate stuff as well. All right, what was your big takeaway from what Brandon had to say?
Well, I really like just the view of that approach that you kind of mentioned too on your TikTok. In general of, instead of shutting down Michigan's run, which where everybody kind of thinks, okay, that's what you need to do, lean on your strengths and take away the pass game, make them one-dimensional. That's just different than what I think has been stuck in my head. And I think many Husker fans all week long, which is this game's going to come down the lines. You got to stop the run. That's their biggest threat. But if I don't know what to expect from the passing. I'm not expecting to hold them under 70 yards, but this is the team that really struggled. He mentioned Chip Lindsey coming in there, or at least, we talked about him as the offensive coordinator. They made a coordinator change because that's how bad the passing game was last year. So this is a team that could be susceptible without, despite the fact that they've got one heck of a talent there at quarterback, that maybe you could make them one-dimensional. And obviously, if you do that, it's easier to stop that one dimension.
So, I don't know why it just popped into my head. I was like, I'm going to grab my phone. I'm going to do a 1-minute TikTok, and I'm going to talk about the number 1 pass defense in the country, which has allowed 0 games of over 70 yards, let alone 100 or 200. 69 is the season high versus Cincinnati. And they're averaging, since they played us, almost 300 yards passing a game, and Sorsby's almost completing 80% of his passes on average since. Just for perspective, he completed 52% against us. Bryce Underwood obviously did very well last weekend. I don't like that Pogge is now going to be the head coach because they're more likely to use quarterback design runs. I was like, why'd you tell me that, Brandon Brown, Michigan Insider, host of the Believe in Big Ten show, shared that with us around 11:30 this morning when we interviewed him. But why not? And we play man-to-man. Let's man up. Maybe you go single high free safety, middle of the field, you put 8 in the box. You can go cover 0, nobody back, a little risky, put 9 in the box. Their weakest position group is their wide receiver group. Our strongest is our DBs. I don't know if we're going to finish number 1 in the country in pass defense, but I guarantee we're going to finish up there. I mean, John Butler, 5 straight years, had the number 1 pass defense in the world. When you have the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, it's in the world. 5 straight years. Okay, secondaries coach for the Bills. They had the number 1 pass defense in the NFL. So why don't we put some faith in that? I mean, mix up your looks. Mix up what you do. Don't become predictable. but it allows you to do so many things. If you can just win the one-on-one battle outside. I was very curious to hear about Michigan's tight end still being banged up. Again, I wish him a speedy recovery starting Sunday. Didn't Matt Rule say Javin Wright's like a cheat code covering tight ends? You don't have to bring in a nickel back. Didn't he say that during camp?
He did.
Javin's back this week, right? Ooh. The only guy that makes me nervous in their pass game is the tight end. That's it. And if he's banged up and we got a cheat code, according to Matt Rule and Javin Wright, let's load the box and let's see what happens. Let's have some fun there. Now, I appreciate Brandon joining us. He's obviously one of the best in the biz. But he was wrong when he said, he kept saying this over and over, by the way. Matt Rule is 2-22 versus ranked teams. That was when he got here. He's now 2-28. Just FYI. And he's never beaten a ranked Power 4 team. There's a whole lot of monkeys to get off our back on Saturday, Jake.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
I appreciated Brandon, and I just wanted to get, albeit not numbers I love and or like, and I just like a lot. I wanted to get the correct ones out there. All right, we're going to go to break. You got anything? And when we come back, it's time to dive into the meat and potatoes of will Nebraska beat a ranked team for the first time in way too freaking long. Way too freaking long. All right, and how that may or may not come about. We will do our weekly college football predictions. I'm ahead of Jake. It's a slobber knocker. I'm just dominating him. I'm up by one game or something like that. I'm up by a whole game. I can't believe I started out 0-5. Oh, man. We will do our weekly picks, including Nebraska, Michigan. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In with Limitless Male Medical, the men's health experts. We are the proven leaders in testosterone and peptide therapy. Don't play around with a sub-shop franchise that just popped up. At Limitless Male, this is serious medicine. Full lab panels, real providers, years of experience focused only on men's health. Don't be fooled by crash course owners. Trust the team that knows hormones inside and out. Limitless Male Medical. Your health is not a game.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: sunny skies to start the day, then a chance of showers and storms this afternoon. We'll see a high around 75. Tonight, a continued chance of showers and storms, below around 60. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with a high near 75. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Did you know that deer collisions are covered under the comprehensive portion of your car insurance? That means, like with hail damage or vandalism, since they are out of your control, they don't usually raise your insurance rates. And that's a good thing, since most deer don't carry liability insurance. At Eustace Body Shop, we fixed all kinds of animal collision damage, from cows to raccoons, bobcats, and even turkeys. We can't do much for the animal, but we can get your car back on all fours and looking like new again.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Tune in every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. for the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. It's the Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the Retail Banking Manager at your local Midwest Bank branch on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Banking may be my job, but supporting the community is what I care most about. Whether I'm showing up at local events, partnering with schools, or helping people reach financial milestones, I am proud to be a part of what makes Lincoln strong. Let's build something together. Stop by and say hi. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Are your feet just killing you and you feel like all hope is lost? Say goodbye to discomfort and hello to pain relief at Brown's Shoe Fit. They offer expert advice along with high-quality products to help you find the right solution tailored to your specific needs. Need a different width? Not a problem. Brown's carries a wide range of widths in store. Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q in Lincoln. An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is your invite to Lincoln's Oktoberfest. On Saturday, September 27th, come to Beer House at 8th and P in the Haymarket from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. for a full day of German fun. Live bands, mouth-watering food, cold brews, and games for every age. Try your hand at Steinholding, Cornhole, or bring friends for Hammerschlagen. Admission is just $9 in advance, and VIP gives you tokens, a Stein, rooftop access, and more. Lincoln's Oktoberfest, where the beer is flowing, the food is sizzling, and the spirit is Bavarian strong. Be there.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show. As you know, it's the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime. The lunch hour of Adam Carriker here on The Ticket, along with Bad News Bach. Do you like Bad News Bach?
I love it.
You do. I like that. I like that you've embraced that, Bad News Bach. It's sponsored by our friends at Mulberry Barbecue. Bad News Bach and I both love barbecue, and Mulberry is freaking delicious. Then I have two locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right up a Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus, get incredible sides and get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, just off a Highway 2 by Lowe's. Again, we'll be doing hopefully a monthly remote there at Mulberry's Barbecue. When we do our next one, it'll be at their South location. All right. It's time to get down to the nitty-gritty. Will Nebraska beat Michigan? It's time to dive into some of these numbers, chat about some of these things. Real quick before we do, I got an interesting offer the other day.
You don't know.
What was that?
It's my precursor to telling you about the interesting offer. See, remember we interviewed the Nebraska Pride, the women's professional tackle football team up in Omaha?
I do remember.
Interviewed their coach.
Yep.
She's not going to be their coach anymore. They actually reached out to me and offered me to be the coach.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. I just thought that was very, very cool.
You're thinking about it.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Be very, very interesting.
That would be.
All right. Oh, one more thing. Nick Saban. Let me find the quote. I'm going to get the quote. I can't get over. I'm going to be respectful and not say my full opinion. The UCLA job is less than to be desired, okay? And I kind of stated that the other day. So Nick Saban said it, I quote, "I don't know a serious coach out there that would coach at UCLA right now," end quote. The very next thing I saw on my timeline, report, John Gruden will be the next football coach at UCLA as multiple, and I quote, groomers gain momentum. All right. Last thing before we dive into the meat and potatoes of Nebraska versus Michigan. What are your thoughts? Like, just no reasonable coach wants to coach at UCLA. How much stock do you put into that? And John Gruden, UCLA, thoughts potentially?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing where UCLA is, again, as a football institution. So it's a heck of an institution in general, but it just doesn't seem to prioritize football. And obviously moving into the Big Ten, I talk about it all the time, the fact that the students have to drive 2 hours across LA to get to the college football stadium, which is the Rose Bowl, historic venue, but just tough to get to. And their fans don't, it's LA. I always talk about this with DP. There's a lot more to do there. I don't think that should factor in whether you're a college football fan or not, but that's just my opinion. But anyways, so it's just, it is tough. And then obviously you're always second fiddle to USC, unless you can kind of get over that barrier. And when's the last time a UCLA coach consistently has? I don't know if they've got a big, amount of money laying around to go get another big time coach. The expectations were to take off from Chip Kelly's 8 wins. That didn't happen under Sean Foster. So I don't even know what their expectations are. It's just it's a tough job. Now, Gruden would be an interesting one. Obviously, you kind of get an LA personality there with an LA team. So maybe could kind of get things going. USC, a lot of people feel, was at their best when the celebrities kind of were running the sidelines when Pete Carroll had them there. So maybe you could kind of work that out there. So I wouldn't hate. Gruden said before he'd want to coach in the SEC. And I guess time heals all wounds. So from what got him fired from his latest NFL job. So it would be an interesting fit. It wouldn't be one that I'd say is a home run hire for UCLA, but a lot of that's just because on the UCLA side. I have more doubt on the UCLA side than I would the Gruden side.
I'm very curious to see how that unfolds. All right. It's just intriguing to me. It's interesting to me. I don't even know if John Gruden would be a great fit. He's a good dude. Like, he coached the Senior Bowl when I was there. I got to know him a little bit. He got a little too hydrated the night after Senior Bowl, opened up to me a little bit. So I got to see that side of him. I think it would be great. It would be box office entertainment. I'm just curious to see how it unfolds. All right. Meat, potatoes, Nebraska, Michigan. You can take these stats for what they're worth. We're going to learn more on Saturday. I will readily admit that. For now, the defense is ranked 7th nationally, giving up an average of 8 points per game. Emmett Johnson, all right, total rushing yards of 326. Keep in mind, he sat out 3.5 plus quarters over the past 2 games, but that ranks him 7th nationally. Our total defense is number 6 in the country, only allowing 202 total yards per game. Our third down defense has not been talked about a lot. Third downs. It's called the money down in the NFL for a reason. All right, we are number 6 in the country when it comes to third down defense, only allowing a conversion rate of 21%. Dylan Raiola, man, completing 77% of his passes. That's number 4 in the country. As mentioned before, we have the number 1 pass defense in the country, allowing 66 yards per game. This is the highest ranked matchup, highest ranked Big Ten quarterback matchup since 2019. You got the number 1 overall recruit from a season ago. You got in Bryce Underwood from Michigan. You got the number 2 ranked quarterback in the country, number 7 overall recruit. And Dylan was number 1 for a large part of his recruitment in his class from the 2024 class, and Dylan Raiola. You start to dive into some of these things. And again, we will know so much. Saturday is all about validation for Nebraska. Earning respect, validation. All right, but you look at power ranking the most likely Big Ten offensive player of the year. Dante Moore has taken the Big Ten by storm so far. They haven't played a ton of people yet. But he's the guy who's played well. You got Jeremiah Smith. You got Julian Saint, a couple of Buckeyes. Jaden Maeva's playing really, really well. Dylan Raiola's sitting there at number 7. All right, so we'll see how that unfolds. All right, let's keep going. We've outscored our opponents 147-24 through 3 games. That's, by the way, the most amount of points we have scored in back-to-back games combined since 2007. It's the most amount of points that we have outscored back-to-back opponents combined since predating 2007. I put this out on social media earlier this week, but we have the number 1 graded special teams in the country according to Pro Football Focus. Our grade is 91.1. Georgia Tech, 90.3. UCF, 90.2. All right, let's proceed on here. Trying to move. Find my next stats. All right, Cortez Mills, highest graded freshman in the country. He was the 5th highest graded freshman in the country and the highest, second highest graded true freshman wide receiver with a grade of 89.6 after last week's game. All right, you got anything you want to hop in here real quick with as people peer through us through the window because you can't see us as you walk by without peering? Because that's normal. You got anything you want to hop in with? I got a whole bunch more stats, and then I want to get to a breakdown of the game. There, Jake.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of stats. I mean, the one that does stick out to me, and though he has missed a few this year, is their kicker, Dominic Zavada, 7 of 7 last year, beyond 50 yards. So it comes down to a long field goal. Hopefully, Nebraska's kicking and Michigan's not.
He's 4 of 6 this year.
Yeah.
And Kyle Cunanan booted that 52-yarder to put us on the board. First points of the season versus Cincinnati. So we'll see what happens. All right, Dylan Raiola, 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This guy also put this out there. I'll just repeat it. Matt Rule at the Power 4, Power 5 level has never beaten a ranked team or a team that finished better than 8-4. All right. Does that factor into this at all? Is there a gigantic gorilla on Rule's back that he's got to get off on this, or is that just not that big a deal?
I mean, at some point it is. It's interesting because you kind of go through these things. Nebraska hired a program builder, and so part of that is, he hasn't stuck around anywhere long enough. He's earned that tag because he's kind of moved around and moved on to the next program. So you don't get to see it at its full strength. So it doesn't bother me all that much. But a few more losses to top 25 opponents, and you might start to think it is a Matt Rule in Nebraska problem. But hopefully, again, like you said, we just get all that out of the way with the victory against Michigan.
All right, and I quote, "It's just the easy schedule so far, crowd. Nebraska's played the 100 hardest, easy for me to say, ranked schedule in the country so far. Illinois, 101. USC, 109. Indiana, 117. I can't believe Indiana's that high. Michigan State, 118. Rutgers, 121. Washington, 128. Maryland, 131. Penn State, 134. What was that, 8 Big Ten teams? So they've actually played an easier schedule so far. So Nebraska is actually right in the middle when it comes to non-conference schedule ranking. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's been a mollywhopper of a non-conference schedule. But, again, we will learn more Saturday. But in the meantime, hey, we ain't the only ones out there that are tuning up for Big Ten play and non-conference type play. Nebraska, it's a big-time recruiting weekend. I mean, we have got, I'm looking at this, 4 5-star players that are coming into town this weekend from the 2026-2027 recruiting class. And then we have got 10 4-star players in this weekend from the 2026-2027 recruiting class and 2 4-stars from the class of 2028 as well. So big time recruiting weekend. Can you imagine the crowd going crazy, the crowd getting into it, the atmosphere of Memorial Stadium, at least matching the atmosphere of the Colorado game, at least matching it, and Nebraska getting a win in front of those recruits? What that could do. The possibility is right there. There's only 3 teams in the country with a top 10 scoring offense and defense. Nebraska's one of them. Can you guess the other 2?
Top 10 offense and defense?
Yeah. They're not blue bloods, by the way. They came up 0% in our blue blood conversation.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to guess maybe USC because they've been putting on some points.
They've given up some points.
Yeah. That'd be tough.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
BYU and Indiana.
In Indiana, okay.
BYU's killing people. And Indiana is playing like 3 high schools. Like, people want to make fun of us. Like, seriously. They're playing high schools. But, hey, we're one of those 3 schools so far. We've allowed 0 passes of 20 or more yards this season. Not allowing big plays. That's why the passing yard total is so low. We're not giving up. I'm going to knock on some serious wood here. My head, the table is this wood. I'm knocking on wood here. We have not allowed big plays. And again, as mentioned earlier, no team since 2000 has allowed fewer passing yards through 3 games. Now, you get into you got to look at the whole picture of this. You look at the last 4 times Nebraska played Michigan. It's not been something we want to talk about, so let's talk about it. Michigan is 4-0. They beat us 45-7. The year before that, 34-3. The year before that, 32-29. And in 2018, 56-10. Again, I don't know how much any of that factors into this. All-time, Michigan is 8-4 versus Nebraska. It would be 8-5, but we didn't play them in 97. All right. We got all these other stats, all-time winning percentage, total national championships. How many national championships do you think Michigan has won? Because I see the amount that they've claimed, and it's not ass of 7 or ass of 8. It is ass of 9.
What did they claim? 12?
How'd you know that? It's 12.
Yeah.
Did you just pull that out of your keister? Did you know that?
Well, I think I was kind of looking through that when we were going through Blue Bloods, but
dude. You know what's funny is when they beat Michigan to win the national title, I remember specifically putting out a tweet, because obviously I was hinting at 97, their first national title since 1947.
Yeah, that's right.
Where did these 12 happen? All
Early
right.
on.
I will say this, weeks at number 1 in the AP poll. How many weeks we spent ranked number 1 in the AP poll all time? Which school do you think has more weeks? It's not close, by the way.
Alabama?
No. Between Michigan and Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Nebraska?
Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah.
70, they have 36. Yet they have almost 3 times as many national championships they've claimed. How does that work? All right, weeks in the AP poll, Michigan all-time does have the edge, 931 to 732 weeks for Nebraska. First-round draft picks. All right, Nebraska has 34. Michigan has 55. All-time NFL draft picks. Which school do you think has more?
Well, I'm going to lean toward, I'm hoping you're giving us good news. Nebraska?
I got to keep it balanced. I stated all these Nebraska stats. I didn't just see good stuff for us. I got to keep it balanced. All right, and Nebraska's at 370. I mean, I did my part in that. So, but Michigan 421. So there you go. Heisman winners. This should not be that hard. We have 3. How many do they have?
2?
3.
They have 3 as well. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, beyond Woodson, I can't name the other 2. I'm normally on top of stuff like that. Can you name their other 2?
Desmond.
Oh, yeah, Desmond. Get off of ESPN College Game Day. Set Howard.
Not a big fan of his, but.
Hey, I nailed that pretty good. Give me props. That was spur of the moment.
Pretty good.
Who's their third one? Google it.
Harmon. Tom Harmon.
Really? What year did he play?
1940.
Wow.
And that's where a lot of their titles came, by the way, was from Fielding Yost back in the day, which he coached 1 year at Nebraska. We should have kept him.
Did they win 12 titles in 10 years? Is that how that worked?
They won 6 under Yost from 01 to 23.
All right. This one's incredibly close.
1901, that is, now that there has been an 01 to 23 since then.
Can people stop texting me? I'm trying to look at stuff on my screen. They keep texting me. All right. Nebraska versus Michigan. Blue blood comparison. All right. According to this graphic. Which school's been in more bowl games? And it is absurdly close. I've kept this balanced so you can't try to figure it out.
I think Michigan's been around longer, but I don't know if they were playing bowl games longer. I'll go with Michigan.
They've been to 53. We've been to 54.
Oh, take that, Michigan.
Yeah, take that, Michigan. All right. And let's see what else we got here. I think I've already talked about most of this. Rocco Spindler, did you see this? Was the highest graded Big Ten guard, according to Pro Football Focus, after week 3. His grade was 77.1. Did you see that at all?
I did see a little bit of that, yeah.
All right, so the NCAA has passed a one-time only transfer portal window. That doesn't mean you can only transfer once. It means there's only one window per year. You can still transfer multiple times in your career. Let's see. Dylan Raiola's Big Ten rankings. Completions, he's first. Interceptions, he's first with 0 thrown. Touchdowns, he's second with 8. Pass yards, he's second with 829. Pass yards per game, he's second, 276 pass yards per game. Completion percentage, he is third in the Big Ten, fourth in the country. Big Ten pass blocking rankings for the offensive line. Nebraska is fourth. That's going to be huge this weekend. First, a salty defensive front from Michigan. Oregon, Indiana, and Rutgers are 1, 2, 3. Then Nebraska's third. Our out-of-conference schedule of strength ranked compared to other Big Ten teams. This graphic says we actually have the third toughest. Purdue is way down there. Who has Purdue played? I don't even want to know. All right, and I think I finally have run out of statistics here. The last thing, I think Husk Guys on Twitter put this out. and I quote tweeted it and said, I do. I'm staring at a screenshot here of when Nebraska and Michigan have had some epic duels. This was the most terrifying moment in my young life. Who remembers this heart-stopping finisher from, what was this, the 2005, 2006 Alamo Bowl? Remember the last play when they kept throwing it back and forth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they thought that it was over. The Nebraska sideline comes off the field. What was it, Zach Bowman running him down?
I forget who it was. It's the single most exhausting play in my college football career because they kept throwing it back and forth. So my big, dumb, fat butt kept running back and forth. And then I'm like, this is stupid. I'm exhausted. I went and I ran down and stood at the 10-yard line.
Did you really? Okay.
And I remember watching their guy run down the sideline. I thought he ran out of bounds. I walked off the field. He was still in bounds. The people were rushing the field. And finally, I forget who of us. I want to say Blake Tiki. I could be completely wrong. Not finally tackled him or whoever it was.
Yeah.
Then my wife's Uncle Bill. Everyone has an Uncle Bill, right, in their family. He goes, you should have let him score. You would have seen that play on ESPN for centuries. You would have gone down in college football history. I'm like, Bill, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. All right.
That was so odd that they're just like, yeah, we're just going to count that as the last play.
Oh, my gosh. All right. One volleyball thing. Which Big Ten arena has the best atmosphere? This is per votes. Wisconsin got the most amount of votes. Not Nebraska at 2, Penn State. Purdue at 3, Nebraska at 4. We have the 4th best Big Ten volleyball atmosphere? Dude, I have not been this highly offended in a long time. All right, when we come back, we got any thoughts before we come back, make our weekly pick'ems, including Nebraska, Michigan, and anything else? You got any final thoughts before we head to break? And then we will officially give our prediction and picks.
I did just see with some of those arenas that, that it might be that the student section or the crowd is more kind of on top of you. And that what might make those crazy for the opponents to go in their play. But still, all right. Well, we'll just pack up 92,000 then.
I will say this. I saw EA Sports top 10 toughest places to play for college football. Like, when this game came out, whatever it was, August, they had Michigan in the top 10. Michigan is very misleading. Michigan and Tennessee routinely go back and forth as to which one has the bigger seating. Tennessee, I think, currently has the advantage. I mean, Michigan Stadium is well over 100,000. Tennessee's got like the 8th largest stadium in the country. If you watched Game Day at all last week, you heard that like 42 times. But the way Michigan Stadium is built, it's built out, not up. There is no way it's one of the top 10 or 20 toughest places to play in the country because of it. Architecture failed their home field advantage. All right, it's time. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Nebraska, Michigan, and our weekly college football pick'em. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
An overdose can happen in front of you and you might not realize it. Blue lips, slowed breathing, pinpoint pupils, choking sounds, unresponsive to touch or sounds. These signs aren't always obvious, but they can be deadly. Knowing what to do could save your friend, your neighbor, your child. Learn more by visiting myhealthymind.crediblemmind.com so you can be ready before it happens. This message is funded in part by the CDC OD2A grant.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle-cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Tune in this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. as Old School broadcasts live from Lead Lodge and Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City to kick off the 2025 Applejack Festival. The festival runs on September 20th and 21st, as well as September 27th and 28th at Arbor Day Farm. Pick apples, enjoy cider, and welcome the fall season with fun for the whole family. Purchase tickets to the 2025 Applejack Festival online at arbordayfarm.org and listen this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. to Old School broadcasting live from Arbor Day Farm.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. Second half today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
God damn drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show is sponsored by Suizo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Suizo is hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back on and off the job site. Apply at Suizo.com. 40 years strong in business. Suizo Construction. Again, that's SCHWISOW, Suizo.com. Jake, we got 10 games to predict. Nebraska, Michigan's the main event, which means it's at the end. Let's go, my friend.
All right, let's get it going with a Friday night game. Keep us interested this evening. Iowa at Rutgers. Iowa is favored by 2.5. But, of course, Rutgers still has the Greek rifle. Ethan Kaliak-Man is still in the Big Ten.
Man, forget Iowa. Give me Rutgers at home. Let's go.
Wow.
They will have the second best pass blocking in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you just mentioned it, yeah.
That's going to be the difference in this game, said no one ever. But I'm picking Rutgers.
I'm actually picking Rutgers, too. Usually I like to stick with Iowa, but I don't know if their quarterback, their offense is still just not coming along.
Just a reminder, Bad News Bach wants Iowa and Texas to play for the national championship in college football
Not
this
Texas,
year.
Iowa and Minnesota.
No, but Iowa and Texas is worse, so I go with that narrative.
Yeah, but I hate Texas.
It fits my narrative.
I know. All right, Texas Tech at Utah. Number 17, Texas Tech at number 16, Utah. This is big noon. Utah favored by 3.5.
Okay, I'm a gigantic hypocrite. All offseason, I've said Texas Tech is going to win the Big 12. They're the most talented team. They're going to win. They still might win the Big 12. They're just not going to win Saturday. Give me Utah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Utes as well. Hopefully we disagree on some things. Auburn at Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 6.5. Very interesting. Jackson Arnold, the quarterback for Auburn, the upstart Auburn Tigers, of course, was the quarterback for Oklahoma last year, going back home.
Give me OU.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, too.
Stop copying me.
Well, I mean, it's fair enough. All right, how about Tulane at Ole Miss? Mississippi here at home, favored by an 11.5. Keep in mind, Tulane has wins over Duke and Northwestern so far after the 3-0 start.
I'm rooting for Tulane, but I'm going to go with Ole Miss. Let me ask you this question. The two best G5 teams appear to be USF and Tulane. Which one gets in the playoff this year?
Ooh. Well, I mean, this could go a big way. If Tulane wins against Ole Miss, that would be big. That's tough to call, though.
I'm going to take USF in this game, Tulane versus Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss.
Yeah, you're going with Ole Miss?
Yep.
Good, because I wrote down Tulane, so I better scratch that out.
Well, make it your pick.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Man.
No, make Tulane your pick.
I can't.
Come on.
I think Ole Miss is going to win.
Right.
They beat Duke too narrowly. I think Ole Miss is a little bit better than Duke. How about South Carolina at Missouri? This game interesting. Lenore Sellers probable for the game, so likely to play. Early in the week when that was not known, Missouri was favored by 13.5. Now it is down to 9.5.
So when you told me the spread, I didn't know that Lenore Sellers was unlikely to play. And I was like, why is Missouri favored and by that much? So then you're like, he's probable. I'm like, okay, can I be like College Game Day guys and make this pick like 10 seconds before kickoff so I know if he's starting? This is my pick. Can you tell me if I can do this or not? If he's playing, I don't care that Missouri is almost a double-digit favorite. If he's playing, I want South Carolina. If he's not, I want Missouri. Can I do that? It's literally based on him playing or not. That's it. If he takes the first snap of the game, it's South Carolina. If he doesn't, I'm taking Missouri.
All right, I'll write that down in my notes. That's fair enough. I'll just go with Missouri either way. I think Missouri looks good to go. So when we get some maybe opposite, we'll see if Lenore Sellers plays. Florida at Miami. Miami favored by 7.5.
Yeah, give me Miami.
Yeah, they look like one of the better teams in the country. To begin
Florida
with,
does not,
Miami
by the way.
Yeah, that's right as well. Big one in Big Ten country. Number 9 Illinois at number 19 Indiana. Indiana favored by 3.5.
Dude, I was surprised Indiana's favored. It's just because they're at home. Give me the Fighting Illini.
I'll be cheering for the Illini. I think I love Brett Bielema. But you know what? I do like the favorites here. I'm going to go with Indiana at home.
Right.
Tough place to win, as Nebraska found out last year, going to Indiana.
Jake, why'd you bring that up? All right, we got 2 games left. Very intriguing games if you're a Nebraska fan.
Yeah, Michigan State at USC.
Oh, not that one, but go ahead.
Yeah, a few of them. Well, that's also intriguing. 2 future opponents. Michigan State has looked good so far. Vegas not buying into it, though. USC favored by 17.5.
Yeah, I'm taking USC all day.
Yeah, I will too, but I thought it was interesting enough to bring up. And then the game you were talking about, North Carolina, Bill Belichick at UCF, Scott Frost.
Dude.
UCF favored by 6.5.
2 coaching legends, Bill Belichick and Scott Frost. I'm going to take Scott Frost over Bill Belichick.
Wow. Big pick there.
It's UCF over North Carolina, to be clear, but go ahead.
I just can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I think Bill Belichick in North Carolina get the win here, despite how awful they looked in week 1. Hopefully, they've rebounded a little bit. That leads us to our final pick of the day.
Well, hold on. The 3 games we were just going to briefly mention.
Oh, yes. There are some other interesting games this week. Oregon State, Civil War, huge game up in the Pacific Northwest. 2 of them, in fact, that I'll let you speak on real quick. Washington at Washington State, the Apple Cup as well. Problem being, these look lopsided. Oregon favored by 34.5 in that game. Washington favored by 20.5 versus Washington State.
Anytime a rivalry game has a nickname, you know it means something, especially to those folks. My fear is these games will not continue. We're not even going to pick them because we would both just pick Oregon and we'd both just pick Washington. But I hope these games continue. You also mentioned Notre Dame versus Purdue. Not really a rivalry game, but they both, reside in the state of Indiana. So there's a little bit of in-state rivalry there, kind of, sort of. Again, we would both just pick Notre Dame, I assume. Yeah. So unless you were going to pick Oregon State, Washington State, or Purdue, we won't pick those games, and we'll just move on to Nebraska, Michigan. I just wanted to mention we can't lose more rivalry games in college football. My fear is we will, but go ahead. Nebraska, Michigan, what do we got?
Yeah, Nebraska, Michigan, it is open as a 3-point. I think it's down to 1.5 right now. Michigan's still favored over Nebraska. I got to believe, we've had other people on the show already pick 3-point, 4-point games here. This is the type of game that's going to come down to, I think, a one-possession game. Not great news historically for Nebraska, but I'm not going to be the bad guy. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Huskers to get the win. I'll go 24-21.
What happened to Oh, first of all, you stole my score. Second of all, what happened to Bad News Bach? All right. Think about the monkeys we could get off our back. Matt Rule beating a Power 4 team that's going to end up this season with more than 8 wins. Matt Rule beating a ranked team. All right. And beating a ranked Power 4 team for the first time ever. We're 0-27, unfortunately, versus our last 27 ranked opponents. It's on our home field, okay? And I hope it's a one-score game so we can also get the one-score monkey off our back. I know we won some last year, but you made a great observation in the offseason. You're like, those were only one-score games because we let it be one-score games. We should have blown Rutgers out last year. And they still dropped that touchdown pass that would have tied the game. Yeah. My point is this. I've spent more time researching this game than any other Nebraska football game I've researched in the going on 11 years I've been doing this. I made a prediction earlier this week. I said Nebraska 24, Michigan 21. I've done all this research, all this evaluation, talked to all these experts, and all these days later, Jake, my final and official prediction is Nebraska 24, Michigan 21. Nothing changed. I'm sticking with it, and Nebraska's going to win a one-score game and make the play at the end to get the win.
You know what? I'm going 24-20. We can't have the exact same score.
I put mine out on Tuesday.
You're right.
All right. Have a glorious weekend. Looking forward to a victory Monday. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bones.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tune in this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. as Old School broadcasts live from Lead Lodge and Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City to kick off the 2025 Applejack Festival. The festival runs on September 20th and 21st, as well as September 27th and 28th at Arbor Day Farm. Pick apples, enjoy cider, and welcome the fall season with fun for the whole family. Purchase tickets to the 2025 Applejack Festival online at arbordayfarm.org.